Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity to practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome to Reframing Mindset podcast. My name is Clarence Brooks. This episode we're going to talk about fire getting, you know, like being fired, or you're on the other end where you're firing the person, or not only that, the person telling you that they resign from the company. Because what I realized was that I experienced all those. Well, I did experience what we had to fire someone, but what happened was that I saw both of them. I saw both twice, and well, once for yeah, I saw both twice. And it's like one of those things where you realize that I say business of science again. This is it seems that this is an inevitable or this is inevitable because what is that people like what I realized that when actually start a business fully functional, what it takes to become a real employee and get all those employee benefits is really a hard work because look, I'm recording this episode is like me 6 months into the work, and it took me around 6 months to really get all these employment benefits and stuff like that. But what happens is that the what it takes, if you really listen to all those stuff that I had to go through to reach that point, it takes a lot of work trying to get those benefits. And what happens is that if you're going in blind and not realizing, not they're not telling you the end of the tunnel, because what happens is that in a business world, a business, there's no end of the tunnel. They're just going up and up. That's how a business goes. There's going up and up. So it's like when you're in there, the pressure. If you're not really made for the pressure, you what happens is that you want to quit early because there are times or days that I wanted to quit, but I had to push through because I know why I went there, and the reason why I last this long was because it's not because of skill or anything. It's just because it's in experience in endurance, which made me last this long. Because the most of the people that resign or stuff like that, they were really young in the sense that they just came out of high school or stuff like that. So if I was that age where I just came out of high school and boom, doing that work, I may have quit as well because the resilience that you have to do to reach that far is is a lot. And not only that, what happened is that I will quit also because at that age you do not know the value of these things that you're getting now. You don't know the value of that because they just come out of high school and be like, oh my gosh, so it's like, these stuff you'll be like, oh my gosh, because what happens out of high school, you'll still be under your guide of maybe your family or such like that. So these benefits will not be as valuable to you in the younger years that you'll be in your older years. So you take it for granted, and then you'll be like, okay, I just quit now and find another job or stuff like that. You see, but the reason difference between me is that it took me a while to actually get a solid job, so I had to appreciate it. I had to appreciate it and make the most of it. So it's like I'm getting this benefit, and these benefits are like gold to me. Are like gold to me. But what happens is that if I get fired, I just lose all those things that I work for immediately. And it's like, bro, that's the real life. That's that's real life. Like this person, like one of the person that got fired, they were doing the job better than me. for doing the job better than me for some way, but she got fired as well. And it's like, bro, I feel it's one of my episodes, my supervisor got fired. My supervisor that was in one of the places before she got fired for a reason you don't know. And that's the thing. Like you can be doing a job. look up to this person and be like, oh my god, this person is so great. I want to be like them. All of a sudden they get fired and I don't know why. But like, bro, I'm yeah, so you're worse than this person, but you outlast them. It's like, what happened? And what happened is that what you realize is that there are intangibles that the company looks for, and if you're not reaching that intangibles or maybe the tangibles, you be forced to leave or stuff like that. So that's next thing in the business of science. Like it will come a point where you have to actually fire people and you have to know the requirements to actually fire these people. Because at the end of the day, it's a business and you really have to maximize on productivity and profit and like all these stuff are important. And not maximize on profit, but maximize on safety and all the policies and stuff like that that comes with science. Because if you're not really doing the right science, you're slacking off can really bring down a science business. So yeah, you're hearing the rain in the background again. Yeah, I said we're in the rain season now. So I guess that's basically it for this episode. That's concluded. I guess in the business of science, firing and resignation is going to be a thing of it because some employees going to want to quit before they reach the full benefit of it, or not only quit with it. It's like eventually most the science business, the business will be my dream. So I'm not going to hire people to come live my dream forever. Some people want to leave eventually and live their dream. So that's another reason why they want to get resign as well. So these are things are eventualities. I have to know how to actually replace these people, and that's another stuff you have to take in account in the business of science. Like I said, starting a business is not as easy as a thing. Like how you don't know these stuff if you're not going through the business. So that's basically it for this episode. And thank you for listening. I look forward for the next episode. Mhm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
6 month employment update because I'm ready to 6 months. And I guess my reaction to it is that I become the full employee. I get all the base employee benefits. And yeah, well, yeah, the 90-day probational period. By the 6 months, you're basically reaping the rewards of that 90-day probation period. And what happens now is that I realize is you become more stable in the 6 month period. In the sense that what I realized is that the when I just came, my position was certain. So if you realize we have been moving up a lot. Now recently in the 6 month our position, well, my position really was pretty stable in the sense that I never have to really worry